All right, all right, all right. Welcome back, Kings of Opinion, episode 28. Ernie is back from his little hiatus from being sick, and we also got Wanderer next to me. So, guys, say your normal hello, and we'll be in. Hello, gang.
Glad to have you with us, fam.
All right. So, a lot's happened this week. There's been a lot of things we could talk about or I could rant about. I am going to start off with my NFL referee terrible job that they do every week moving forward, and even from the start of the season. And I'm kind of just wondering how people make that much money and get calls wrong all the time. Like, I want to know what they do all week because, like, they must fly out like Friday or Saturday to go to the game on Sunday. Like, do they
Right, like what's the protocol
yeah,
there?
like, do they look at tape and see how they messed up? Because you never see like Goodell come out and be like, yeah, that guy's a bum. He's our worst ref. And I know you're not going to do that per se, but like, what I want to know what happens behind the scenes with these guys. Like,
I guess they have to get graded or something, right?
do they though? Like, I know in baseball they have some kind of system, and then like only the really good ones make the playoffs, and you get bonuses for that. But I feel like football's different, where like you don't have as many games anyway, and there's a lot more scrutiny because the NFL is like the big brother now, and they make all this money,
and nobody's going to criticize football.
right? But like everyone does, right? Every day I'm listening to the radio. It's like, oh, this ref blew this call, this ref blew that call, and I just wonder, like, they get paid so much. Is it just for like 2 days of work a week, or like are they in a screen room, or like they teaching them and yelling at them or reprimanding them?
Well,
or...
I don't know how it is now, but I know years ago it used to be that it was just a part-time gig. Like
They had to
all
have other real
regular
careers.
jobs. But the thing was too that they were all like high-level executives, like in the banking industry. It was like all like really high-level executives. It wasn't any Joe Schmo that wanted to just be a football referee. Whether
Okay,
it's still
but
that way now, I don't know.
I don't think that is anymore because they make like 400 something thousand a year.
Really?
I think so. They make a lot of money. And even if you do have another job, that means you kind of really don't care about being a referee. And where do you be? Where? How do you get that job? If you're like, I don't know, a owner of a bank or like some kind of high level executive, you just like, hey guys, I want to try out being a referee this year. Can you give me a job? And like, yeah, do you know the rules? No, I'll figure it out. Just give me the book. I'll read it. No big deal. And then they just go out there and throw flags left and right. And then it's like not to throw flags or like only throw a flag when it helps whatever team they want it to help out with. Like, I'm not really a conspiracy theorist, but I was watching the Miami and Philly game, and it's weird to me that Miami had 10 penalties and the Eagles had zero. And they were the Eagles were clearly holding left and right and making these outrageous like face mask penalties, and they weren't getting called. And on the opposite side, I found out Miami was losing drives because there was either a holding or this or that, and they were
Most of the calls are going one way.
not all of the calls. The Eagles didn't have a call. They didn't get a flag once, and it's just I just want to know what are they doing all week long? Like, can someone comment or something, and can we figure this out? Because I know any of our jobs, like we got to work and we got to be pretty like good at what we do, or else you get reprimanded or you get a fine or
Right.
days
Gotta
taken away
you
from
gotta abide by all the
yeah, you get dock
rules.
pay maybe, or like every job has different like rules about that stuff.
Performance
Yeah, but I'll tell you this much.
performance evaluation.
Yeah, I'll tell you this much. If we performed, or if, I should say that if the refs performed in the way that they are now, and they were in like the real world, like they'd be fired already.
Yeah, well, again, like we said, the NFL is the big brother of all, and they have no accountability for anything. They just do what they want to do, and don't have to answer for it.
Yeah, but they don't have to answer for it, but people just don't stop complaining about it. That's all you hear on the radio nowadays is this ref threw that call, this ref threw a flag when he shouldn't have. Like
So NFL referees are not full-time employees. Most of them have other occupations outside of refereeing, and they say that the annual salary ranges from 200,000 to 500,000.
to what, work like 2 days a week, or maybe just a day a week? Is that what you're telling me? Like, hey, Billy, show up to Sunday. We're gonna give you a clean 50,000. All right.
I would imagine they make the most in with this part-time gig, right?
I mean, unless they have a really good other job, like
Maybe they're clearing $1 million. Who
I
knows?
guess a guy with longevity could be making $500,000 a year, and if he's really good, you got to talk about making playoff games, being in the Super Bowl. Like those are probably all bonuses for them, right? It's like anything else. It's like if a player makes it to the Super Bowl, they get a bonus. Like I'm sure
Right,
they'll
yeah,
get as much.
probably for the postseason and
Yeah,
like that. It's you got to get picked. I would
yeah,
imagine.
of
maybe.
course. Like you have to be the best of the best, but in the Super Bowl, there's got to be at least like 6 referees or something like that. Like something wild. Like you got to have everything.
Well, it's probably the
covered.
same amount with the crew, I guess, right?
Well, I don't know. I'm just. It's just.
I wouldn't be
Yes.
surprised if they have a couple of extra.
Yeah.
Just like don't they have
I was just gonna
two
say
extra in baseball? Or something
baseball
like
Oh,
had
really?
2 extra down the lines to make sure like you're watching.
Oh, for
the
those
lines.
calls, okay.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So like baseball has it. I would assume football would have it too. Maybe if it's even just 1 or 2 more in the end zone, just to make sure you have everything covered, and then they run up and down, like they shift up and down the field
I
and
see.
whatever. But you're picking the best of the best. But I mean, to be making 200 or 500,000, like I don't even think I would have another job. These guys live the life, and they probably get taken care of with like flying, like living arrangements, food.
And going back to the NFL being the big monster that they are, not having to have an account, the referee individual salary information is not disclosed.
So you don't know what the hell they're making. They're just giving you a rough estimate.
Sealed.
Some guys that could be like an average. So some guys might be making like $1 million, like Wander said.
Right.
Where like
You
other
said
guys
if
only
they're
make
selected,
200.
if they get selected to referee in the postseason and the Super Bowl, I'm sure there's huge bonuses that come with that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could find out what the players make, and they wouldn't make as much as the players. So you could kind of like narrow in like something of a bonus for them. But
You never know because there's a shit ton less referees during the Super Bowl game than there are players.
it's true. But do you really think like they'd get like a $200,000 bonus for in the Super Bowl? I don't think so. I don't think it'd be super crazy, but it would still be significant to be in the Super Bowl and get the bonus. But yeah, I think it's wild, man. I don't even need for them to be held accountable. I'm sure a lot of these guys don't have second jobs anymore because if you're making that much money and you work 6 months out of the year and maybe you work a couple days a week, like maybe the really good ones would work on a Monday, on a Thursday, and then you got the other guys working all Sundays all over the league, or vice versa. Like maybe you're working 2 days a week.
Yeah, and I think the way they work is by crews, right? They have certain crews.
Yeah, set crews. Yeah,
And depending on how good they are rated, there's some of them probably do 2 games a week.
and they probably do the popular games too. I would assume, like the higher volume games where you're gonna get a lot more people watching. Probably mostly probably like most of the Sunday night games and all that because the Sunday night games usually like obviously the game of the week, you know. But yeah, so that I really just wish I could find out what they're doing all week. That's what I really want to know. Like, are they videoing tape? Are they watching tape? Are they discussing? Hey, Bob, listen. You really effed up that call on the sideline
I
yesterday.
guess they're
sure
working
they
their
are.
other
I'm sure they
jobs.
are, but again, they all have regular jobs as well. So
Can we get an application? I want to do this. I really do. Can we find out an application? Like,
sure,
and get me like a book for the rules, and I'll start studying now. Maybe in like 2 years, I'll start being an NFL
I'm
referee.
sure you have to start doing high school games first.
No, I'm going to go right to the NFL. We're not wasting that time. I'm too old for that. We're going to go right to the
Straight
NFL.
to the
Maybe
top.
college. I'll start at college, and I'll start focusing on that first.
SEC only.
Yeah, like something close, or somewhere really nice, a lot of nice colleges. But I'm not starting in high school. But Ernie, find us an application for next week. I'm going to fill it out. We're going to send it in and see what's happening. Maybe we go on LinkedIn or something, see if they have an application on the NFL site.
That's a good idea.
Or Indeed, maybe on Indeed, who knows?
Yeah, Indeed, one of those sites got to have it, right? Like looking for extra help, sideline judge for NFL. Like I'm perfect for that. Let me just throw a flag up there every once in a while. They do it. I could do that.
Yeah.
Why not? All right. Well, that's the rant for football. We'll get into more football talk in a minute, but I did want to touch upon baseball real quick. We have a game 7 today coming up, I believe, at 8 o'clock. It is the Rangers versus Astros. And funny enough, the home team has not won a game yet at
Yeah,
home.
I heard
Huh.
that. I heard
So
that.
each team
Interesting.
is 0-3.
Road dogs.
Right. And you got, I forget who you have for Houston on the mound. He's been really good. He's pitching to a 2 ERA. And, his name escapes me right now. But
Not France.
no, somebody else. But the funny thing is, the Rangers have Max Scherzer going tonight. His ERA in his last 5 postseason starts is over 6,
Wow.
and his last regular starts this year is over 11. So, like, if you're the Rangers, I would think you'd have to put up a lot of runs tonight, unless like he's got a quick hook, which obviously it's game 7. Like he can literally get bases loaded in the first inning, and you're probably going to yank him. I really just don't want to see the Astros make the World Series again. So
Yeah, me neither. Me neither.
so I want the Rangers to do anything they can. Like I don't care if they go inning by inning, pitcher by pitcher. And
I wonder how many home runs what's his name has now
who?
on Houston.
Altuve?
No, Alvarez.
Oh, I don't know. But there was
He had 6. I think before our last week's episode.
Oh yeah? I don't know if he's gotten any more, but you know it's funny, Ernie, if you can, see how many postseason home runs Altuve has. He just recently passed a bunch of Yankees too. I think it was this playoffs.
For all time.
Mm-hmm. That doesn't matter. Screw that little guy. But yeah, so I'm rooting for the Rangers tonight. Right now, the Phillies and the Diamondbacks are playing. They're in the bottom of the 6th, and Diamondbacks have a 4-1 lead, and that would
26 postseason home runs.
Yeah, I think he's like second all time. I don't know to who, but I think Jeter had 20. Bernie might have had a few more than that, something crazy like that. But
Manny Ramirez had 29.
Okay, so he's the number 1 leader.
Jeter had 20. Bernie Williams had 22.
There you go.
Jeter had 20. That's crazy.
Yeah, well, he was in a lot of postseason games.
Still
just like
though.
Bernie. Well, so is Altuve. Altuve's got to be up there too, right?
Oh yeah.
He's got to have what? How many games?
All of them. Yeah, Manny Ramirez too.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, if you're gonna hit 29 bombs, you should probably be in a bunch of games. But yeah. So I hope the Diamondbacks win this game, so it forces another game 7, which
Well,
is
it's looking pretty good right now.
yeah. You know, they still got a couple innings left. They got to hold it together. It's like another feel-good story for both them and the Rangers. I'd like to see them both in the World Series. I was on TikTok today, and I saw this video. It was rather funny. So you know how I don't know if it was Dubai with the Live Golf, right? It wasn't, right?
Yeah.
That was
That's Saudi.
It was Saudi.
Oh,
right?
Saudi Arabia.
Saudi did the Live Golf thing,
Okay.
and Dubai is doing their own baseball league.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, did they sign anybody or?
They did. They had a draft. Was it today?
Today or yesterday?
Yeah, they had a draft, and some of the picks will surprise you from the first.
Who's the
over.
biggest name they got?
Didi Gregorius is like the one that was picked pretty much
Okay.
like on the top 3 picks.
Former Yankee and Philly.
Yep, and then and Diamondback.
He was on the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, that's where he started.
Really?
Yeah, he went
Didn't
there,
know that.
Yankees, and then Phillies.
Okay.
And then you had Robinson Cano, who's now 41,
Wow.
and he's on one of the teams. And oddly enough,
This is going to be on television?
I have no idea. I have no clue.
Okay.
I don't know where it's going to be. It might be on some weird online like web page.
Live baseball app.
Who knows?
ESPN the Ocho.
Right, exactly. Old timer baseball, sponsored by ESPN the Ocho. So there's a Met that was actually picked in like the first round. Do you care to guess what Met? Besides, well, obviously Robinson Cano was also a Met, but whatever. Do you know what Met could possibly be playing in this league?
Andy Chavez.
Not a bad guess. I would say older than him, and also heavier than him.
I know exactly who it is. Bartolo Colon.
Yes, yes. I was gonna give you one more, but
No,
you're
I
already good
knew.
with
I
it.
knew. Hey, listen,
So I don't know. You know what?
he'll
I
put
want-
some fannies in the seats, probably,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. You know what I want to do?
Entertaining.
I actually hope that there's one game on like one of our stations, like maybe like Fox FS1 or MLB Network, just to see how bad that's gonna be. Like Bartolo Colon, what could he possibly be throwing at the age of 50? Maybe 75?
No.
Bro, he was actually, believe it or not, and look this up, but he was playing in the Mexican League.
No, I'm saying he's probably throwing harder than
You
that.
think so?
Yeah.
I don't think so, man. 50 years old, dude. Unless that all that body weight is just, it's like a train coming out of his arm. I don't know, man.
Technique, baby.
Technique. God.
You just gotta have the base.
I'd like to know how hard he's throwing right now. And then I would also like to know how fast Robbie Cano's bat speed is, because when he was on the Mets, you could have thrown a beach ball at him, he wasn't going to hit it. All those guys, they're all like washed up. I hate to say it because some of them are nice guys and were good ball players, but I also wonder how much Dubai is paying these gentlemen. Like, it's got to be millions, right? To almost maybe embarrass yourself on some kind of TV station.
I mean, being that it's only 4 teams, and I can't imagine their rosters being too big, I'm sure some of them are getting paid some decent money.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be something, right? They're not going to do it pretty much for nothing, so it's got to be a couple $1 million per person, or at least. I wonder if they have multi-year deals where, like, hey guys, we're going to pay you for 1 year. Let's see how this year goes. Maybe we could add some more teams and get some love into it, and then we'll go from there.
Probably. I'm sure that's what it's looking like.
I mean, it would have to be, right? Like, how could you imagine giving them like a 4-year deal that goes belly under year one? And you got to pay these guys a couple more. I mean, listen, Dubai probably's got money to spend.
Yeah, and they, at this point, these guys, I don't even think care about the money. They just do it for
the fun of it.
Yeah, and just to get their name out there and stuff.
Well, then why wouldn't you just go to Japan or China or something like that?
No, I'm saying as far as Dubai goes. Well, they actually have a website and everything already.
Really?
Yeah.
Oof. What's the website called?
Oh, the draft was today.
Oh, really? So we might be one of the first people to report this.
Yeah.
Breaking news.
Even though there's only be like 30 or 40 people that watch it.
Oh, there's the.
You heard it here first.
You missed it.
Yeah, you heard it here first. What is that? All-Star Showcase? Oh, draft October 23rd. Live stream.
Wow.
They're gonna show you the 4 hats.
United. What does that say? United. Oh wow.
Very nice.
Yeah. What's the crown one? I want to know who the crown team is.
The Kings.
Right. It might be. Or it'd be the Queens.
The Cobras, the Monarchs.
Monarchs. Close
go.
enough.
The Falcons and the Wolves.
It's royalty either way, right?
Mm-hmm. We call them the Lords too, if you really want.
There you
right?
go.
So yeah, I guess that's going to be it for pretty much baseball. Maybe we'll do a little bit next week for the World Series. We got the NBA on deck, right? Starts tomorrow. Yeah, you're looking at me like you have no idea. Good job.
I think we just saw. I think they just said that it does start tomorrow.
So the honorary GM for the Cobras is Barry Larkin, and the manager is going to be Chris Sabo.
Really?
Barry Larkin.
Let's see
Right.
who is on the other team.
Hopefully, some more people we know.
Let's see.
Hey, you know what?
Honorary GM of the Monarchs is Adrian Beltre, and the manager is Miguel Tejada.
Wow.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like Miguel Tejada could play. Maybe he'll be a player coach, player manager.
Let's see. The Wolves. Felix Hernandez is the honorary GM.
Felix, like King Felix? Is that for the Monarchs?
Yeah.
That actually makes
for
sense.
the Wolves.
Oh, I was going to say, that actually makes sense, right?
For the Lobos.
John McLaren is the manager.
I don't know who that is.
Me neither. 2-time manager of the year in China. He was a manager of the Mariners 2007, 2008.
Interesting that they got all the players as the GM
And
or
let's
honorary
just-
GM, whatever you want to call it.
Let's check the Falcons last team.
Might as well, right? See what they got.
This is 4 teams.
Just 4 teams.
Honorary GM is Nick Swisher, and the manager is Dennis Cook.
So let me ask you this then. I guess Nick Swisher isn't a special advisor to the New York Yankees anymore.
I don't know. I mean, that's like honorary GM, which take that for what it is. I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that. I would just take it as he's the GM. There's no other way to take that right now. Like just like the first season GM, and then maybe if it gets off the ground, they'll find actually real GMs. But like,
it's just I would say it's more of like a figurehead GM.
Well, then who's? I mean, someone's got to make the calls on who the.
Another big name that was picked in the first round, pick number 4 overall, Pablo Sandoval.
Oh yeah, that's right. I did hear that one too.
Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. I actually want to watch one of those games, and now I want an application for a manager as well. I'd rather do that. Dubai's a nice place to
be an honorary manager.
Hell yeah, man.
I heard they have good golf courses there. Is that true?
They have everything good there.
Oh, got it. Okay. So it's one of those kind of places.
Yes.
Yeah, so get me an application for that. You think that's on Indeed or LinkedIn or one of these places?
Check it out.
Yeah, might as well. All right, so I guess that's it. We'll wrap up the baseball talk for now. Next week will be the World Series. Or actually, no, this week, right? It would start Friday, I think. Well, let's go Rangers and let's go Diamondbacks. So I gotta say, anyone else got anything for baseball?
I don't get a dog in the race, so
Neither do I. Just hate both the other teams.
But I'll go for the Diamondbacks just because I don't know, snakes are cool.
Until they bite you. But all right, so we got that. The Dubai Baseball League, we're good on that. So I guess let's hop back into football. So the Giants won a nail biter this week. Did anyone catch any of that action?
Yeah, I saw some of it, but then towards the end there, it looked like when they were in cruise control, they were going in, and somehow they managed to turn the ball over. I didn't see what happened after that though, but obviously they held on.
Yeah, so it was like a tale of two halves. Like the first half, first off, the Giants scored a touchdown in the first half for like the first time in weeks. I think it was like, I don't even know, since like week 1 or 2. But they scored a couple times. They were moving the ball fine. Everything was working well. I thought the Commanders were better than what they looked like, and they're just a disaster. Like I don't know how they're 3-3.
Well, did they start the season
2-0,
2-0?
2 or 3.
I
Yeah,
think it was 2-0. I don't think it was 3-0. But either which way, now they're 3-4. But their defense, besides their front four, kind of was like terrible. And the second half was almost just like, oh, it was like I'd rather watch paint dry.
Yeah, and Sam Howell has come back down to earth big time.
And I get it. His offensive line isn't good. But you also, if you know that, I almost rather you throw an interception than hold on to the ball and get sacked like 6 times.
Yeah.
Like he's going to be the most sacked quarterback probably ever this year.
That's one thing that at least it seems like you're seeing that there really aren't any really good offensive lines this year. Everybody's offensive line seems pretty suspect.
Well, besides the 49ers, the Eagles, at times Miami, for the most part.
Look at yesterday. Hurst was running mad all game long.
Yeah, but for the most part, the Dallas Cowboys have a good offensive line. There's a handful of them, but you're right. Overall, like
it just seems like every game you hear the stats to, there was 4 sacks, 5 sacks, 6 sacks.
Yeah.
It seems like there's a lot of sacks this year.
And I kind of wonder, like, what's going on with college with these offensive linemen, because most of these offensive linemen, you're just taking them from college and they play a couple of years and then they're done. So it's like the turnover on these guys are, except for like a few, are quick. So they're all young and they're all big. Like they're all from the Midwest or something like that. I don't understand. Maybe it takes a few years for them to gel. I don't know. But, it was funny. At the end of that Giant game, too, Washington still had a chance to tie the game. And Sam Howell and the offense just, they sucked, so they blew it. We talked a little bit about the Eagles, Miami. I don't really want to touch too much upon that. That was the Eagles' game to lose, and they just didn't lose it. That push, whatever they call it, tush push.
Drives me crazy.
I think it drives everyone crazy, but like they just laugh at everybody.
But Eagles fan, yeah, because they're the only team that knows how to do it well.
Right, but how do you not know how to do that?
Well, according to them, they really, really practice it a lot.
Right. So here's my thing: why don't everyone do that with a big beefy quarterback?
Yeah, but they can't.
Right.
They can't.
Like the Giants tried it and got 2 guys hurt on the play, which I thought was funny. Like if you got a big I get it. Some of them, like Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, you probably really don't have to do it. They could probably get that 1 yard on their own. But like if you gave them an extra 2 guys to push with the offensive line, like it's got to be so easy to get a couple yards at a time. You can literally do it almost every play and get a first down. You know. And to the Miami's credit, they didn't even complain about it. They're like, you got to stop it, or you got to do it yourself, and they've done it to perfection so far.
Yeah.
But a couple other things around the league that I thought was kind of like not weird, but like the Lions Ravens game, I was really looking forward to, and it was a terrible game for the Lions.
Ravens jumped out early, right?
That's not even the word. They were up 28-0, like I think before halftime.
Yeah, I don't think anybody saw that coming.
No
but
way.
Again, it's you got to give Harbaugh a lot of credit because Baltimore every year is right there in the thick of things, man.
You know what their problem is though? So they're 5-2 right now, and I don't know if they play next week. I didn't go into next week yet until we do our picks, but they only go as far as Jackson goes. So if Jackson has a bad game, the Ravens are losing that game because they have complementary pieces to him. But if he gets hurt or has a bad game, they lose. You know what I mean? Whereas like other teams can, like the 49ers, for example, if Purdy has a half decent or bad game, they still have a chance to win that game because they have other playmakers, right? Lamar Jackson, if he doesn't do his thing or he's not playing, they're average at best. You know what I mean? The Raiders lost to the Bears. Like what? I know the Raiders aren't that good either, but
with a quarterback that's never played before, basically.
Right. Well, did you hear about that, by the way? That guy
Fields was out.
Yeah, Fields was out, and their backup was like some almost borderline Rudy story, right?
Yeah.
He's like from like some D2 division school, I don't know where.
Next guy up.
They signed him as a free agent. He wasn't even drafted.
Really?
And they throw him on the team, and he winds up being the backup. And he comes in and plays, and does a decent job. He was actually, I think he was a Heisman winner for D2 or something like that.
Was he? I don't know much about it.
We were talking about it yesterday while we were at Fallon's. And shout out to Fallon's, by the way. Those guys do a great job on Sunday football. But it was wild, like what some of the guys were saying about him. Like he's undrafted, no one knows about him.
Yeah.
Boom, comes in and wins a game against the Raiders.
I don't think anybody's even heard of him.
Right. I don't even know his name right now, as of right now. So, but the Bears took care of business. They're back in the mix a little bit, and sitting at 2-5, just like the Giants. They're saying the Giants have a chance to make the playoffs. Why wouldn't the Bears? The game that if you missed a good one, was the Browns and Colts. Like it was a slugfest back and forth. It was actually wild. The Browns wound up winning in the last seconds with a last-minute field goal, and it was like 39-38.
And no Deshaun Watson either, right?
Nope, he was a cheerleader on the sidelines going like, woo!
Oh, Watson was out. I didn't even realize.
Yeah. So P.J. Walker wins 2 games in a row. He beats the Niners, and now he beats the Colts. And
walking on sunshine.
Well,
they're 4-2 right now.
They have a ridiculous defense.
They have the best defense in all of football, at least right now. So they're basically riding the coattails of the defense, and hopefully that's good enough for them to get some more wins where, they can make a playoff push. And they're right behind the Ravens. They're only a game back.
Yeah.
They had their bye, I guess, already. So
Yeah, their defense is definitely keeping them in every game.
yep. The Bills lost to the Patriots.
Yeah, that was a surprise.
Yeah, and they took the lead late just to give it back 2 minutes later to the Mac Jones Patriots, who I don't know besides Sam Howell there's a worse quarterback.
Yeah. Do you say that Buffalo at this point is the biggest disappointment in the NFL this year?
I would say
I
so.
think you
Yeah.
could say that, yeah.
I mean, look at. I mean, they beat Miami, right? I don't know who their other 3 wins are off the top of my head are, but you lost to the Jets, you lost to the Patriots, and
the Patriot team, which
Not that
had
good.
their worst 2 losses the last 2 weeks.
correct. And granted, the Patriots were home, so I wouldn't even give them a slight edge. I would just say they would play better, but not like this. And like Warner, you were saying before the show, 29 points they scored, probably the most points they scored all year.
Definitely.
So, and the Bills have a good defense, or at least we thought they did.
They're supposed to.
Right. But, they lost. And another thing is they were, a drive away from losing against the Giants the week before. So it's like, are they phonies?
It sure looks like it.
Right? And not going to think about it. Like, if you're a Jet fan, right? Not that I don't want to say like, oh, you're worried about this team, you're worried about that team, but are you really worried after seeing that Miami could lose to Philly and lose to the Bills, and you beat the Bills and the Eagles, and the Bills can't beat a bunch of teams either. Like they're 4-3. They're basically if the Jets handle their business this week and beat the Giants, they'll be 4-3, just like the Bills.
Yeah.
So are you really that intimidated by any team in the East right now? I wouldn't think so. And they got a revenge game coming against the Patriots, where they need to destroy the Patriots.
And their schedule is not a very easy one either. They got Tampa, Cincinnati, Denver, the Jets again, the Eagles, the Chiefs,
Who's it, the
Cowboys.
Bills?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not easy. So they must have had the easy part of their schedule up front, where the Jets have it towards the back.
Yeah. I mean, well, their season is just all over the place. They lost to the Jets week 1. They beat the Raiders. Okay, that makes sense. They smashed the Commanders, which makes sense. They beat the Dolphins, which made no sense at that point. But
Right.
whatever. Then they lose to Jacksonville. Then they squeak by the Giants and should have lost that game probably. And then lose to New England.
Wow. A lot of mediocrity in the NFL this year.
Yeah.
I wonder if it has anything to do with the extra game and less practice, But the Steelers beating the Rams, and somehow the Steelers, like you said, are 4-2.
Yeah, that seems like smoke and mirrors to me.
Right.
Which
But
are
hey,
the first 2 games of the season,
win's a
they
win.
looked like they were horrendous.
Yeah, they're
right?
awful.
Didn't they get destroyed their first 2 games?
Yeah, probably. Even if they didn't, their offense was anemic at best. Kenny Pickett looked like he took a step back instead of a step forward.
Speaking of pick things, are you ready for the picks?
Yeah, let's get into the picks.
Oh, they beat Cleveland week 2.
Who? Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh.
Okay. All right, what do we got on our picks from last week?
I have a feeling we didn't do as well this week.
Yeah, it's going to be a disaster for us. So hopefully no one listened to our show last week and actually picked with some of us.
If you did,
sorry.
We're sorry.
Yeah.
And
So Wanderer,
please don't harm yourself.
He went 1 for 3 and is 13-10 for the season. I went 1-3 as well, and I am 10-13. And our friend Pudsey went 0 for 3 and is bringing up the rear at 9-14.
Oof.
Oof.
Not
Oof.
good.
Falling behind.
Oh. And I had Last week I
You were close.
I was getting close. I was 2 games out of 500, and I was hoping that I could win a couple of games and either get closer or win all 3 and get over the hump. But yet I gotta wait at least another 2 weeks.
So I just gotta keep picking one game right, I guess.
I guess with the Jets and Cowboys being on bye, we were lucky because we only had 3 games.
Right, that's true.
Right.
Good point.
So who's gonna start us off this week? And who goes first? Would that be? Are we going bottom or the top?
We might as well keep going with the way we've been going. Let Wanderer go first.
All right. Listen, here we go.
Here we go.
I'm going with the Jets. I will be at the game, hoping that they fly high. -3 at home against the Giants. Should be an interesting environment, to say the least.
Oh boy, what time are you leaving to go to that game?
Early.
It's gotta be like 7, 8 o'clock, right? Easy.
Yeah, I mean the gates probably open at like 8 or something like that, so somewhere around there.
So just a note: the Giants are actually home that game, and the Jets are giving 3 points.
Oh wow!
Just FYI.
I think that's kind of like.
What do you mean?
The Giants are home.
It's a
Right.
home game for the Giants.
It's a home game for the Giants.
Right, but the
it's
Jets
the
are
same.
the favorite.
Yeah.
But that's weird. No.
Yeah, I mean, does it really matter who's the
No,
home
not really.
team?
I actually hope there's like a crazy like mix. It's like 50-50 in there. So you see like one side.
There'll be more Jets fans, I would say.
What's making you go to the game, anyways?
A friend, he asked me if I wanted to go, so I said, yeah, why not?
That's an awesome game.
I mean, probably wouldn't be if I had to pick a game to go to. Probably wouldn't be the game I would pick, but
no, there's gonna be.
I'm sure it'll be interesting.
It's literally gonna be like a mix between Newark
That's why
and the Bronx in that stadium.
Well, I'll just make sure nothing happens to it.
You'll definitely videotape that game so we can throw it on our Instagram.
Hopefully, no cars go on fire.
Right. If there's cool stuff, videotape, please.
Okay.
Do that and throw it right on the Instagram so we can get some cool footage.
All right. Next up, we're going with Jacksonville Jaguars -2.5. Yeah. Hopefully, they'll get that done. Third, we're gonna go with the Falcons -2. I think at Tennessee. That's that pick. And then fourth, the Cowboys are playing the Rams, and we're going to actually take the Rams with the points. It's a lot of points, 6.5. So those are picks for this week for myself.
All right. Ernie, you're up.
All right. I'm going with the 49ers, giving 5.5. I don't know if McCaffrey's playing or not.
He's playing tonight, just FYI.
He is?
Yeah.
All right, so we should be good there. Talking about the Ravens, I'm taking the Ravens. I think they're just the real deal. Their defense is playing great, and Lamar Jackson is just nutso. So hopefully they'll cover.
MVP candidate so far.
Yeah, definitely.
Him and Mahomes.
Then with my third pick, I'm going to take the Eagles, giving 6.5. I think they should bounce back and maybe put together a little bit better of an effort. They are playing the Commanders, who look like garbage. And then with the Cowboys game, I am, unlike Wanderer, phony Cowboy fan. I'm taking the Cowboys
phony.
-6.5.
I would love to see the records for the Cowboys games right now.
Me too. Maybe we'll get it to you next week. We'll see how you guys do head to head with the Cowboys picks. So I had 4 picks here. I'm gonna be smart here, and I'm just gonna pick. I'm changing my picks, and I'm just taking everything Wanderer does, because if he goes 3-1, I can hop over Ernie.
Oh wow!
And I can be in the driver's seat.
Bold approach.
I won't catch Wanderer yet, but you know what? I'm gonna play the MLB baseball game, and I don't need to catch the first place team. I just need to get into the wild card game, and then go from there. And so I want to hop over Ernie first.
I gotta be honest with you. I don't feel too strongly about any of my picks.
Well, it's a good thing I'm joking, because this is. I just wanted to throw that out there. I thought that'd be fun. I have my own picks, so here we go. I'm going to take the Texans -3 against the Panthers. The Panthers are also doo-doo, so I don't see them really doing much with the Texans. And C.J. Stroud is going to be like the rookie of the year, or whatever they have, offensive rookie of the year, whatever it's going to be, as long as he keeps up doing what he's doing.
Oh yeah, so it's the two number one, number two draft picks going against each other.
Yep. So
I didn't realize
Draft
the
bowl.
Panthers are they the only winless team in the league?
they
Yes.
might be.
0-6.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. So then you got the Dolphins coming off a terrible loss against the Eagles. I think they're going to look for revenge. I know it's kind of high at minus 9.5, but I'm going to take them to beat the Pats and beat them bad. Like, I don't see the Pats upsetting both the Bills and the Dolphins back-to-back weeks. And I don't even care who's home or not. It's not
Dolphins
gonna
are home.
so it's even worse.
Miami probably fired up off that loss.
Yeah,
too.
Miami could possibly drop 50 points on Belichick, and if you have a chance to do that, why wouldn't you? Because he's a bomb and everyone hates him. So I'm also going to side with Ernie here with the Eagles. If there's not another doo-doo team in the league, the Commanders, I don't know what is. Even though they gave the Eagles a run for their money a couple weeks ago, I don't see that happening again. I see the Eagles come and keep moving and beat them pretty convincingly. And then I'm going to take the Jets also with the Wander at -3. I think the Wander's going to be a good luck charm at MetLife. And the Jets are going to do something that they normally don't do and play up to a little bit of the hype and beat the Giants and send pretty much New York football into all kinds of frenzy after that game because God knows what sports talk is going to be like on Monday. But we'll be here to talk about it, win, lose, or a tie. We'll be here to talk about it. So
yeah, well, think about it. The Bills lose. If the Bills lose Thursday night, then the Jets will be in second place.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. And not what are the Dolphins are 5-2, so there'll only be a game back.
Yeah.
Unless, well, obviously there won't be a game back. There'll be 2 games back because they should beat the Patriots, but they'll be close because they got their bye coming. So yeah, that's it for football. That's it for I guess the sports right now. We got TV shows or movies that we're talking about.
I finished Warrior.
And what'd you think?
That was good.
Yeah.
And what'd you think of the ending?
I thought
Another
it was
season.
yeah. They're
coming,
definitely doing another season. But I thought like the fights towards the end were cool.
Do you think that it ended where it's going to be another season, or
Yeah,
do you think that possibly there might be a spin-off?
I think they could do another season. It seemed that like that's what they were foreshadowing in with a couple of parts. But back to what I was saying about the fights, I loved the fight in the prison cell with the commissioner, the police commissioner, and the other guy. That was good.
That was good. That was good.
And then of course,
He's probably my favorite.
he's great. That guy's great.
Who the cop?
The former cop. Now he's a cop again. Yeah.
The sergeant that became commissioner. I was happy for him because he went through it all, man.
Yeah.
It was rough for him for a while.
Oh yeah, and then of course the main character, I always forget his name. Him versus his 2 partners. That was a sick fight.
That was a sick fight, man.
Yeah.
That whole thing, what was it, like not in their dojo, but like wherever they were at,
Right.
like there,
Yeah.
he was fighting everybody. He's a beast, dude. Which makes me like the other guy on the other side that's like together with his
Sister.
married to his sister.
Yeah.
Those 2 guys, like you could probably just have them fight once an episode and it's worth that whole episode.
Right.
Those guys go to town, man.
Yeah.
They beat the balls off each other all the time.
He's definitely got to be a Lee bloodline because he looks just like Bruce Lee.
Oh, like in real life?
Yeah.
I wonder if that's the case. That'd be crazy. That'd be wild.
I definitely wouldn't be surprised if.
So yeah, I finished that, and I started watching that movie Us last night. That was pretty cool.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to finishing that, and I think that was it as far as television and movies. I mean, I'm keeping up with. I mean, I'm sorry, still working on The Bear, and keeping current with Gen V, and what's the other show? Loki.
Right.
Loki, yeah.
So I'm not up to date with Loki.
Okay.
I'm only on. I finished episode 2. I started watching episode 3. Saturday night, I fell asleep. It was a long day. What else do I got? Finished The Bear, but I'll wait to talk about that with you after. I started Billions today, the last season. That looks like that show is going to be wild ending.
Never watched that.
You should watch.
I heard
You would
it's
like
good.
that.
I haven't seen it, but I heard it's good.
When someone told me about it, I never thought I would like it.
You were skeptical, yeah.
Right, and it's so conniving, and there's so many like back deals, like
Right.
alley deals. It's wild what they do, and like how people think.
Predatory capitalism.
Yeah, like how they think like 3 or 4 steps ahead. It's wild to me. But I just started that last season today. I'm current with Gen V. Gen V, like that's a good spinoff from The Boys.
Yeah, I'm enjoying that.
The
Yeah.
Boys are gonna have a 4th season coming up soon.
Oh, nice! I didn't
So
even
that's good
realize.
too, and I like that premise of Gen V. So once I think that show is over the first week in November. So like,
Okay.
there's only a couple more
Couple
episodes.
episodes.
There's like I think there's like 8, maybe 9.
Yeah, so
So
maybe 2 or 3 more.
We'll keep everyone monitored of that. But like so far, the show's pretty good. It's kind of wild how they're doing things with like the kids and everything like that. You should watch The Boys and Gen V.
Yeah.
30 coins tonight. I was wrong. I thought it was last night,
Uh-huh.
but it's tonight.
Which
The show I was telling you about last week.
Okay.
Yeah.
On
HBO.
Right. What's it about again?
It's like good versus evil, but like it's subtitles, and I think it takes place in Spain, I think.
Okay.
But it's just done really well.
And it's called 30 Coins.
Yeah.
Okay. You saw the trailer, I'm assuming, because it just came out.
Well, I watched the first season. I was a big fan. The second season premieres tonight.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah. What else we got?
Ernie, you watch anything?
No.
Okay.
No. I tried while I was under the weather, watched the first 2 episodes of Loki and just couldn't get into it. And
Did you watch the first season or no?
yes.
Okay. So at least you saw that you had the base of it.
Yeah, I mean, I need to rewatch the first 2 episodes because I just was not into it, and
Right.
it was just, I don't know, I felt like it was kind of like just all over the place, so much going on, and I couldn't concentrate on it.
Yeah, you really have to sit there and pay attention to it because from what happened to last season.
Oh,
to
Loki,
season,
yeah, that's something you gotta.
And it's gonna tie in like a couple of the movies in the I guess upcoming 2 years. You know what I mean? So it's a lot. Like you have to pay attention to it. But I get it. Yeah, I guess that's it for now. The only problem is like there's so many shows to freaking watch. I feel like every time I finish a show, you guys or other people give me 2 or 3 other shows to watch.
Infinite content.
Yeah, it's unreal how many shows they're pumping out, you know?
Yeah.
And they're all, everything I've watched so far has been relatively good.
No, they're making some good stuff.
You know?
Some good stuff.
And then, yeah, like, they make you charge through the roof for it, but whatever. We'll see what happens.
They better be putting out good content
Right.
for what they're charging. Right?
Yeah, exactly. That's what that might be another rant for another day, but we'll see what's up. But yeah, I guess Wander like finished.
All right, yeah, I'll bring us out with
get us to home.
The music picks for the week. First up, we got the God Fahim with the Supreme Hoarder of All Pristine Wealth. Next up, we have Ab Soul with Herbert. That's from last year. It's a good album. And then another older album, we're going to go with the Super Cron Flight Brothers with Cape Verde. And those are the 3 picks for this week.
All right, before I close this show out, I did actually have like a nice little stat for everybody. Go.
I forgot we should shout out Florida Media and Ashley's podcast. What's it called? Emerald Dreams?
In the Big Apple.
Emerald Dreams in the Big Apple. Thank you for having us. That episode is up. It's on YouTube, I believe.
Yep.
And probably some other ones, right? Spotify as well.
Yeah, check it out.
Shout out to Ashley. Great time with her. It was awesome, and Florida Media was excellent.
That was a blast. Thank you for the hospitality.
Right, absolutely. Hopefully we get to do it again sometime. That was a great time for us. It got us a little bit out of our element. We didn't really talk any sports, but we did talk about a bunch of other stuff. So check them out. You'll see us on there. And yeah, one quick little note. Did you guys know Patrick Mahomes has won 80 or
Yes.
been within 1 score in the 4th quarter in 97 of his first 100 NFL starts?
Wow.
Isn't that wild?
And I saw something today that said that him and Andy Reid have won 80% of the games that they've been in.
It's like
That's
a
sick.
tick over that. It's like 80.2 or something like that, which no one else has ever done.
And another
Oh, I know what this is going to be.
depressing fact.
Here we go. For the
The
Swifties out there, right?
For the
I call it?
Swifties out there. They're
You
talking
had a
about
feeling.
how Patrick Mahomes is the highest paid football player, right? Making 50 whatever million this season.
Yep.
Where with Taylor Swift, the fucking genius that she is, this deal that she has with this movie that's out, the deal she worked out with AMC is that she gets 57% of the ticket sales
Wow.
for this movie. The first 3 days, the first opening weekend in North America, she made like $65 million
Off of ticket
in
sales.
3 days.
And that was
Wow.
57%?
Yes.
So so the movie made
She's an
over
entrepreneur.
100 and like
It was
almost
something like
$120 million.
Yeah, in 3
Actually,
days.
that's a lot less than I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be like 300-400 million because there's so many of those fans out there.
This was just North America, just North
But
America.
I understand.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, like, for example, like the Avengers movies make like $250 million in a weekend. I thought it was going to be something like that. Like they were expecting it to make billions.
Wow.
So like, I guess it fell a little short, but she still made a ton of money. I thought the thing you were going to say real quick was, so Travis Kelce in the 4 games that she's been there averages 108 reception yards in those games. When she's not there, I think it was like 47. Go figure, right? Well, that'll do it for the week. I hope you guys all enjoy the show, enjoy this whole week, and we'll see you next week for a lot of good football talk and anything else we're going to talk about.
Take care, gang.
See you in the next cartoon.
All right, enjoy, guys. Take it easy.